Hi friends and welcome back to my channel. I want to talk about some of my most anticipated books being released in 2026. I know that January has already passed, but nevertheless I want to talk about the books I'm excited about and why I'm excited about them. So I have a list that I compiled a while back and I have release dates. Those release dates might have changed. I have not double checked, but we're gonna go with it. So it's sort of divided for me in like books I know I'm gonna get to or want to pick up or want to read instantly that I'm like super excited for. And then just some books that have sort of caught my eye whenever I've seen like lists of books being released this year or others anticipated reads and things like that. But let's start with the big ones. I have a few auto-buy authors, and whenever I'm doing my book buying game, I have to earn tokens by reading books in order to be able to buy a new book, except for when it comes to 3 authors. We have Fredrik Backman, R.F. Kuang and V. Schwab. If any of those people are releasing a book, I'm allowed to buy it. No questions asked. Last year was a mega year because all 3 of those people were releasing books. But this year, only one of them are. But she's releasing 2 books, so that is still good. So let's first talk about The Ending Writes Itself by Evelyn Clark. This is a book that is being released on April 7th, and it's a mystery written by Kat Clark and V.E. Schwab. I have no idea who Kat Clark is, I'm not gonna lie. But V.E. Schwab, I know. This is a book about 6 authors on a private island. It's sort of a locked room mystery thriller, and it's a satire on the publishing industry. So they have co-written the book together. So Evelyn is V.E. Schwab and then Clark is Kat Clark. And I'm just excited. I'm curious to read a new genre by V. Schwab, and I'm curious how the book is gonna be since it's been like collabed or co-written. I'm excited about this. I feel good about this. The second V. Schwab book being released this year is Victorious. If you know, you know. If you don't know, I'm about to tell you, because Victorious is the 3rd and I believe final book in the Villains series by V. Schwab. So the Villains series, I can actually show you, I have them here. The Villains series contains of 2 books so far. We have Vicious and we have Vengeful. These are some of the first books I read when I got back into reading like 7 years ago now. This is actually my 3rd copy or 2nd copy or 3rd copy, I don't remember. But basically I bought this book multiple times because I kept spilling coffee on it. I carried it in my backpack together with my thermos, my coffee thermos, and it kept leaking, so I had to repurchase this book either once or twice, I don't remember. But this series is getting its 3rd book in October, I believe, on October 6th. I'm excited because this series has gone on for a while. The first book, I don't know if this is gonna be the official release date, but it was first released in 2014, 2013, something like that. So it's a series that's been going on for over 10 years, 13 years basically. And I actually do plan on doing a reread of these books in preparation for the final installment. I remember when I read this one, I actually wasn't that big of a fan of it. I gave it 3 stars. This one I loved, the sequel, I gave it 5 stars. So I'm very excited to do a reread because I'm certain that my reading taste will have changed. And I'm just excited about another book in this universe and about V. Schwab returning to a universe that is well loved. Oh, and those books are like sci-fi. It's about people who are called extraordinaries, I think. And they basically have near-death experiences that trigger powers in them. And the 2 main characters, Eli and Victor, they are sort of feuding throughout years. I'm making things up now, maybe. It's been a while since I read them, but they used to be like college friends or something like that. And they were both intrigued by this idea of gaining powers by a near-death experience, so they were both searching for that and then achieved that. but having those powers sort of both alienates them from society and also makes them feel like they can do anything they want without any consequences. And they sort of feud for various reasons that I don't quite remember right now. It's about that complex relationship and other people with powers as well, living alongside them, teaming up, having their own agendas, things like that. It's quite cool. It's a fun concept. So those are the two Instabuy books. The two books I'm definitely allowed to purchase this year, unless anything else is being announced by any of my other favorite authors. Some other books I'm really freaking excited about that are still on the I'm very excited part of this list. We have The Last Contract of Isako by Fonda Lee, who is the author of the Greenbone Saga, so Jade City, Jade War, Jade Legacy, amazing books. She is releasing on May 5th a standalone space opera about a corporate samurai. Sounds badass. I want to read that. I think it can be cool. We have The Future Saints by Ashley Winstead, which was actually just released apparently. It was released on the 20th of January and today is the 28th. So it's already been released. I just need to earn my tokens so that I can buy this one because I feel like I want to own it and read it physically. This is a contemporary story. It says that it's perfect for fans of Daisy Jones and the Six, and I adored both the book and the series. And it's about a music executive trying to bring a rock band back from the brink. And I'm imagining, and I'm just making things up now, this is totally ungrounded. I'm imagining something like Daisy Jones and the Six, Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, and maybe a bit of deep cuts in there. Those books I'm imagining combined is Future Saints. I don't know if that is correct or not, but I'm gonna go with it. I'm having the same vibes about this book as I had with Deep Cuts when it was released last year, and I had to own it physically. I wanted to read it physically, and I feel like that's a good sign. Another book I'm excited for is A Dark Shore, Letters from Ketterdam by Leigh Bardugo. This is being released on June 30th, and it's a short story in the universe of Six of Crows, and I do plan on rereading the Six of Crows duology this year as well, in preparation for this release. It is set after Crooked Kingdom, and it is correspondence between Casbreaker, one of the main characters, and an anonymous sailor abroad, the Wraith, known as I. And I think most of us can guess who I is, which is very exciting. I know this is just gonna be like short stories or letters or whatever. I don't care. I'm gonna want this book. I'm gonna view it as a sequel. I'm gonna be allowed to purchase it because I'm allowed to purchase sequels. So yeah, I'm gonna reread the Six of Crows books in preparation for this book, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. And Six of Crows, if you don't know, it's a YA fantasy about a heist and about 6 characters coming together with various backstories and doing a heist across 2 books basically. It's really good. I really like the series as well. It's in the Grishaverse universe. I didn't care much for the Shadow and Bone series, but I really actually liked the TV show, and I really like what they did with the Six of Crows characters, and I thought they were so well cast, and I'm excited to get back into these books as well. These are also nostalgic for me, because this is also something I read early on as I got into reading, and I read it for my first year on BookTube, I think. Nostalgic, but fun. The final book on this, I'm so excited about this list, is Cleopatra by Sarah El Arifi, and this is being released on the 24th of February, and this is just a Cleopatra reimagining, but I feel like I've been seeing this on lists for years. I think it was meant to be released last year actually, but for some reason was pushed ahead or something. I've just known about this book for ages. I do enjoy retellings. I do enjoy Egyptian mythology, definitely, and Egyptian stories. I also really enjoy Roman and Greece mythology as well. I'm just bad at reading those. I have some of those books on my TBR, never get to them really, but I love the concept of those. And something about this one has just kept my interest. I can tell you what. All I have in my nose is just reimagining. That's about it. But this book has just been on my radar for 2 years, maybe more. I'm glad that we're finally getting it, and I will definitely read it. Some other books that have caught my eye in the last few months that I feel like would be interesting to read. We first have American Fantasy by Emma Straub. Or Straub. Straub? This is being released on the 7th of April. And the story is about what happens when your teenage fantasies come true when you're already an adult. It's a fictional story, it's a contemporary, but I guess a bit speculative or some sort of magical realism within that. Something about the premise of it just intrigues me. Another book that I've seen floating around is The Secret World of Briar Rose by Cindy Pham. And this is being released June 2nd. Cindy Pham is a beloved booktuber who is very straightforward. I've followed her for a while, I think she's great. And she is releasing her debut novel, and she has made a bunch of YouTube videos as well about the process of getting this book released and all of that. This story is a Sleeping Beauty retelling and featuring themes such as escapism, grief, and also queer representation. Like, I want to read this and I want to support Cindy and see what this book is, but I also know that I'm not the biggest fan of fairy tale retellings. I feel like I've read a few, specifically Sleeping Beauty retellings, and those typically aren't up my alley. I'm gonna give it a go, but I fear that this maybe isn't for me. Like, the themes and the topics and the way the story is described is probably up my alley, but the fact that it's a Sleeping Beauty retelling. Dandelion is Dead by Rosie Story was released January 13th, so it's also a book that's been out for a few weeks now. And this is a contemporary or literary story about Jake who falls in love with Dandelion, but Dandelion is dead. Her sister has been answering him from her account, from Dandelion's account. I just feel like this would be a good book for me to listen to as an audiobook or something like that. It's just something that caught my eye. I'm interested in knowing how they are gonna do this story. I don't know anything else. Mother Faker by Anna Brooke Mitchell is being released on the 26th of February, and this is about someone who fakes that she's going on a maternity leave, but she is not pregnant. Once again, I feel like this is just gonna be a good audiobook for some reason. The audiobooks I tend to listen to, I very rarely listen to like sci-fi fantasy on audio. I tend to listen to romances, mysteries, or contemporary / literary fiction. This year I'm really gonna try and keep up to date with like new releases and stuff, and in order for me to do that with a low-key book ban going on, I know that I'm gonna have to listen to a bunch of audiobooks instead, or possibly read many of these books as ebooks. Escape by Stephen Fishbash is being released, it was released yesterday apparently, January 27th. And it's about a reality TV show on a remote island. I just like the cover of this and the title and just the pitch of it being a reality TV show on a remote island. I think that could be fun. The Missed Connection by Tia Williams being released on June 16th. Tia Williams is the author of 7 Days in June, which I adored. It's a stunning book. I need to read her other books as well, and this is her upcoming release. This is apparently a love story on a flight or something like that. It's something about someone traveling, going on an airplane, falling in love, maybe having layovers. I'm making things up. All I wrote down is love story on a flight ? We also have The Tapestry of Fate by Shannon Chakraborty. It's a sequel in the, I don't know what the series is called. It's a sequel to the book The Adventures of Amina Al-Sirafi, which I first believed was gonna be a standalone, but apparently not. And The Adventures of Amina Al-Sirafi is a pirate story, so it's a fantasy about a retired pirate coming back for like a final quest. And this is that book's sequel. And I have not read the first book yet. It is on my 26 books to read in 2026. I do own it. I've been meaning to read for a while. And the fact that it's getting a sequel, I feel like is what's gonna motivate me to actually pick this book up. And the sequel is being released on May 19th. And the final book I have on my list is A Hymn to Life, Shame Has to Change Sides by Giselle Pellicot. This is being released on February 17th. It's a non-fiction book. It's a memoir by the French woman Giselle, who found out that her husband had been drugging her and raping her and invited other men to abuse her as well. This was like a global thing, I think 1 or 2 years ago. It was a huge trial where like 50 men were found guilty of this. And she had the choice to remain anonymous if she would have wanted to, but she chose against that. And with that, her name became famous all over the world. So she braved the world as she decided to not go by an anonymous name during these trials. And I love me a good memoir, even though this one is gonna have some very heavy topics in it. I feel like I really want to read her story. I think this is gonna be an important book. I'm hoping to listen to it as an audiobook. That's how I tend to consume memoirs. And I had not seen anyone mentioning this book anywhere. We need to know about this book, okay? This is gonna be an important book. I feel like it might be like in the realms of Saving 5 or Know My Name. So there we have it. 14 titles being released this year that I am excited to read at some point. Hopefully this year. Not gonna make any promises though, but yes. I just wanted to highlight some titles that have caught my eye. Various degrees of just like authors I know and love and are excited about, and series I know and love, to my more like contemporary audiobooks that I tend to work through alongside my reading as well. Let me know what books you are excited for in 2026, if I have missed anything. And also let me know if any of these books I mentioned made your want to read list now. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please take care and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye!